As you know, the Belize Peace Movement is adamant about bringing fair representation to this nation. Our case 55 of 2019 is simply a continuation of that. On October 3rd, we applied to the court for an enforcement of the consent order, which is actually breached by the Elections and Boundaries Commission, just so that the public can be updated. Back a few months ago, the Elections and Boundaries Commission, which is responsible for the conduct of elections in Belize, signed with the Belize Peace Movement, after we took them to court, a consent order that says that they will now provide the National Assembly, lay on the table of National Assembly proposals that will be in line with the Constitution. Well, they did lay those proposals, but they were not in line with the Constitution, and that is the breach. Specifically, the breach is that the Commission, in constructing their proposals, use not one but two 25% and 35% deviation thresholds. That means that the constituencies in the country can deviate from each other as low as 25% and as high as 35%, which is unheard of, literally ridiculous to propose something like that, even higher than all the democracies in the world that we know of, or at least the expert has spoken of. So that gives us a proposal, a set of proposals, and it proposes that we should have less democracy today than we had in 1981. I cannot help but use the term ridiculous. Not even the National Assembly respected it enough to debate it. And so those proposals remain deferred indefinitely. That means the National Assembly doesn't even want to talk about it. That is how bad they are. Everybody have disagreed. Everybody have put up public statements that disagree with what the Commission has done. And when so many people tell you no, then there is something in that you should go reconsider. So now that the proposals are indefinitely deferred, and the consequences of the breach is that Belizeans still remain with an unconstitutional voters list. That voters list is the one that we complained about as far back as 2015, that we filed against in 2019, and those proposals remain in play. And that is the reason why we went to court, because if the Prime Minister calls an election today, then it will be that same voters list that will be used, that unconstitutional voters list, it will be used to run another unconstitutional election, and that cannot stand. So we went to the court, and we asked the court for three things. Basically, we asked for a declaration that would say to the litigants and the world that the current voters list is unconstitutional and is unsuitable for holding elections in Belize. The second thing we asked for is an injunctive relief to tell the Elections and Boundaries that they cannot use that list for running an election in Belize. And finally, we want the court to order, it's called an order of mandamus, to order and compel the Elections and Boundaries to go prepare new proposals that would comply with the Constitution of Belize. That's essentially what we're in court for now. And we wanted the public to know what we're doing on the behalf of all Belizeans. The Belizean public need to wake up to understand who they are and what they can do. For too long, we have believed that when we elect people, that they are our gods. And the Belizean people need to understand that no, they are our servants. We elected them to serve. We pay them. They must follow the law. The law is there laid out so that all of us can be equal. And so if the Belizean people begin to develop in themselves a new knowledge that they really are the bosses and not the servants of the politicians, then they will advance. That is the message I like to give to people. Develop in yourself a new sense of somebody, being somebody. You're not slaves. You are really masters of your own destiny if you want to be.